What the fuck just happened? What just happened? Hold up. Wait a minute. Summon him right. They're trying to take man's bread. They're trying to take my food out of my mouth. What was that? I don't understand what just happened. Why is it all behind embargo? Why did we only get BBC asking questions? What just happened? No Berron, no Graham, no crazy people asking about Amarin, Tuchel, Klopp, I don't know, Revy. You know, what's going on? What just happened there? That was mad. I was like, why has it gone under embargo? What's just happened? I don't know. I'm genuinely like that. Hold up. Wait a minute. Summon him right. That was mad, wasn't it? Honestly, we did get a lot. But I'm confused as to why. Yeah. I don't know what just happened there. Graham Smith's just written an article there, and I don't know why they didn't get questioned. They all on a ban, like I don't understand. But there are some updates to come from. Well, there's some injury concerns. That's the main bits from the presser. Well, short, Josh. I don't understand what just happened. Complete waste of time. Yeah, smash a like and subscribe. They're trying to take food out of my mouth, I'm convinced. Good luck getting content from that, my man. I know, right? Afternoon, Ananya, Kerms, anyone really any wiser after the presser? What do you need to know, though? What do you mean? I see this all the time about, like, Farker speaking in riddles. What do you want him to do? I don't. Sometimes I'm like, what else? Didn't watch it. Hit me with the bad news that I'll probably be expecting. WTF, Farker needs to get ready for trick-or-treating. That reminds me, there's going to be no White Rose Rivals tonight. Everyone's busy, and I'm going trick-or-treating with my son as well. So that's not happening tonight. I'll do a preview for the game tomorrow, and then there'll be the game on Saturday and all that sort of stuff. Those are all being saved for the embargo. I don't understand it, didn't you? Yeah, exactly. That's what I was expecting, you know. Ten Hag, Ruben Amorim. I was expecting all sorts, you know. But let's get into. I'm sorry, Derek. I'm sorry, mate. I'm sorry. I apologize. But yeah, a few people busy, can't make it. I was gonna ask to push it back anyway because I've got trick or treating, and then they just thought, do you know what? Let's just leave it this week rather than have, you know, half-ass show, if you like. But I'll miss it as well because I look forward to it. Right, let's get into what's been said. Daniel Farker on team news. So we've got some mixed news. Vorba's been back in team training since Tuesday. Potential, we could see him make the bench, which is another, you know, added defensive option that we have, which is a positive. So happy days. He's been out for 5.5 weeks, though. Some might not. Do you know what I mean? He was in an individual session. He could be involved before the international break. Probably means he might not make the bench. Obviously, we've got Joshua Gulavogi as well. He did say we have to make a late decision on Joe Gelhardt, but again, I don't think that bothers us that much. Sorry, Joe. Daniel James, though, has problems with his hamstring. I would argue 3 games in 7 days, because we play Plymouth, we play Millwall, we play QPR. He won't make it. Patrick Bamford has an adductor issue. We saw him for about 10 minutes. He's injured already. Like, I wish he wasn't. Because he probably could offer something. I can't lie. I know people won't like to hear that, but yeah, it is what it is. He did say we'll make a late decision on them. Depends how they come through the session tomorrow. I don't think either will be involved. James, maybe. But at the end of the day, we do have Manor, Solomon. I know that will also send, you know, tongues wagging. Solomon, he's rubbish. But we're playing Plymouth. I don't want to be too disrespectful, but I want 4-0. I'm sorry. And people talk about, oh, well, they came back from 3-0 against Preston. That's at home. They're garbage away from home. They concede a lot away from home, and I'm expecting Leeds to win and win well. And I expect us to win well. I expect us to win well. So for me, Solomon starts. That's fine. You know, yeah, Poppadom's held it. Yeah, look, at the end of the day, it's mad, isn't it? Bamford's had, 10 minutes did he play? And he's already out with an adductor issue. It's just frustrating. But he said he'll make late decision on them. So it depends how they come through the session tomorrow. For all we know, Bamford and James may be totally fine tomorrow and he plays. But if he does have a hamstring issue, why risk him? In my opinion, we've got 3 games in 7 days, then an international break. Just leave him out and have him ready for Tuesday against Millwall. That's where I would go. He was asked some more questions on Voba. He says, when you train, you're available to be picked. He's trained, so therefore he's available to be picked. He's not ready to start a game, is what Farker said. Don't think any of us expect him to start. We've got Strauch and Rodon. Seen a great graphic earlier, actually, that someone tagged me in it. I'll find that, actually. It's just bear with us 1 second, because I did really enjoy. I'll give the graphic. Where is it? 1 sec. I did get mentioned in it. I just want to share it. There we go. By Jay. Lanky Stretch, he's called. This is quite a cool graphic. It's Championship. 1 sec. Championship centre-backs this season for aerial duels, 1 percentage and progressive carries. And if you have a look here, I know that's probably not the... Yeah, that's not going to get... there we go. If you look right on the right-hand side, just under where it says, I wonder if you can see my mouse. Yeah, you can. You can see Strauch here. So always wins his duels in the air, and 9 times out of 10, he's one of the best in the division for it, and has more progressive passes as well. And this doesn't surprise me, by the way, that Rodon inconsistently wins first contact, but still progresses the ball really well. He isn't great in the air, first contact. We saw that against Hull when people tried to say it was a foul when he got bodied. Rodon doesn't always win that first contact, whereas Strauch normally does. And the stats back that up. But Rodon, we always said, he had a shaky 5 minutes at the start. It took him a while to get to grips with it. There has been a few times when he goes up for duels and he does lose out. So I'm not surprised to see that. But like I say, Strauch consistently win the first contact in his duels, and obviously best at progressing the ball as well. So that's good to see that both centre-backs are up there. Obviously, Rodon's heading could improve, but yeah, I thought that was quite a cool graphic, if I do say so myself. Let's get back to what was said in the presser, though. So yeah, Voba, we don't expect him to come in, do we, at the end of the day, because we've got Strauch and we've got Rodon. He did say he's been out for 5.5 weeks. We expect him to be back fully available pretty soon. Come on, Joe. It was 100% a foul against Hull, but yes. No, I disagree with you. I don't say come on as though like I'm lying to you. I disagree. And me and Jack also agreed on this from City of Leeds fans. I think I remember Joe saying, no, it was a foul. I disagree. I don't think it was a foul. But hey ho, it is what it is. Nunny, who's a Plymouth fan, big up to Nunny. He says, big up, Joe, enjoy your easy 3 points on Saturday. Our captain injured and our best centre-back out as well. That's music to my ears. Not great away from home either, are you, Nunny, if we're being totally honest. It doesn't... I can understand why. I mean, at home, fair enough, but I don't think Rooney really changes the way that he plays, regardless of where he's playing. People can talk about Plymouth. Oh yeah, like I seen someone on the presser. Oh, we can't take them for granted. They came back from 3 down at home park. Fair enough. Would be a difficult game, but they've played 6, drawn 1, lost 5, conceded 13, scored 1. If we don't beat these and beat them well, then there's something amiss. Whittaker, no. Played against him 4 times last season, did nada. Whittaker is good. Flat track bullet against Leeds United, he was garbage. And I expect more of the same. They were pumped 5 by Cardiff, beaten by Burnley, beaten by West Brom, beaten by Millwall, drew with QPR, not great. Now we're terrible away, 1 point away all season. At home we're strong, exactly. At home park, it would be a difficult tie. The fans get behind them. But coming to Ellen Road, I fully expect, 100% Damar. Look, I can't game state. We don't know what happens in the game. It might only be 1-0. But I want 3s and 4s. 4-0. Leeds United. That's my prediction. I'll do my preview soon. Call me arrogant. Call me whatever. For me, 4-0. Exactly, Jamie. And people, and this is coming from me, who will go, oh, you know. But for me, in this game, Plymouth, nah, put to the sword, please. We've won 4 at home, drew 1 away. We've scored 12 goals, conceded 5. You know, and I don't. They have some okay players, but we should be beating them and winning well. So that's it. I'm really confident going into this fixture. I was disappointed after Bristol. It was boring. It's been a rough week in terms of it's just been a shit week with Leeds United. My mum's back in hospital, all this sort of shit. And, you know, I want Leeds United on the weekend to lift my mood. And, you know, let's get it and let's win well. Do you know what I mean? So let's do that. So we expect him to... I think Jer's just... Right. When Jer does news... Please know, he doesn't say these things are happening. He's just reporting news, right? Jack Harrison will not come back to Leeds United. I'll bet you now. I'll bet you 100 quid that Jack Harrison will not play for Leeds United again. Honestly, it won't happen. If people are mentioning that, that's fair enough. But it's just paper talk. And I'm not digging out Jer here, but Jer always says, this is what's being reported. He's not saying it will happen. Thank you for the love for my mum as well. Thank you. She's got COPD. Breathing's bad again. Bam. She's back in hospital. So, yeah. But she's all right. I think they're going to keep her a couple of days, get her stats back up, get her back on the oxygen, and hopefully come home soon. But thank you. So on the team news, Voba could be on the bench. Gelhardt, late decision, not too fussed. James Bamford, I'm not too fussed. I thought he did all right when he came on. I'm thinking, listen, it's another option. Then he's injured again. I just think, what's the fecking point with Pat? What's the point anymore? Sorry, Pat. Dan James, I want him to start, but I would probably leave him and get him ready for Wednesday. That would be my preference. Go with Solomon. Let Solomon get some confidence against a poor Plymouth side. He was then asked about Sam Byram specifically. Now, of course, he feels this question's been put because there was quite a big narrative online that Byram had a bad game. And then when you see him playing, when he's in the team of the week and all the statistical data, Bamford actually was Leeds United's best player, etc. Now, of course, that is not... I don't think he was, in my opinion. I really rated Aronson's performance, for example, but probably statistically he did really poor because he loses possession, because he's, touching the ball, because he's pressing and counter-pressing and all this sort of stuff. But look, Byram had a good game. And I think the question's been put to him because the conjecture online, the discourse online was that he was poor. I just don't think he's fair poor. But this is what he said on him. He says he's a key player. Although he's not had many minutes this season, he's so important with his experience in the squad. Again, let's not forget, we take for granted what happens behind the scenes. Everyone used to lambast Cooper. I swear Cooper was made captain for his new side recently in one of the games. But, we speak about everything, don't we? Saying, everyone speaks well of Cooper. And I think, Byram will have a similar type of role within this squad, being an elder statesman. He did go on to say he can play anywhere, whenever I need him. It was a very solid performance at left back last week. Firpo is a bit more flying going forward, but Sam was involved in good situations. We are happy to have him available. I think he starts at right back. I do. I'd probably like to see Schmidt, but I think he starts him at right back because we know Bogle's now suspended. He was asked about Gulavogi. Will we see him soon? I thought this was quite interesting. Because Connor said this on Monday as well about he thinks he'll probably start with Gulavogi at some point instead of, and not have that too. Was it him or was it Jer? It was one of them. It may have been Connor, I think, because he prefers a defensive-minded player. So this is what he said on Gulavogi anyway. He said he's settled in really well. He's joined in with all team training. He's so professional in how he prepares before and after training. He's an unbelievable character and a really good player. He's edging closer and closer to playing. He then went on to say, we have looked incredibly strong defensively in the last few games, which tells me, had we not have, then Rothwell would come out. Or Tanaka would have come out for Gulavogi. Probably Rothwell. Because he prefers to have... He's risk averse. He prefers to have Ampadu Gruev. He probably... Let's say Rothwell has a bad game, or we have a bad game defensively from a midfield standpoint. I think he comes in. I think he comes in just based on that. Because him saying we've looked incredibly strong defensively in the last few games, so therefore I've not needed him up to this point. I think that's what he's saying. That's my analysis on that. He says, I'm not forced to rush him into the team. It's definitely beneficial for us to have him available. He leads by example in the dressing room. It's good to have him around. It was a good choice to add him to the squad. And I'm glad we've added him to the squad. I'd like to see him now get some minutes and see what he's about. He was asked about Plymouth Argyle. He said, I'll be very respectful of them. No disrespect to Rooney. I love the guy. I won't be. Leeds United should be beating these well. He says, if you analyse their last 8 games, they have shown both faces. They have lost 4 away games, but won 10 points out of 4 games at home against really good sides. If we allow them to play good football, they'll play with courage. They can be dangerous. They have showed some resilience in the last few games. The comeback, obviously, against Preston, 3-0 down. That's a great comeback. We are greedy to be successful in these games, but we have to make sure we do the basics right. We have to find some good options to create chances and score goals. Now, here I'm going to say Bristol City was bad, right? When you look back in reflection, yeah, it's a great point on the road, etc. We've got to win this game now. If we don't win this game, then I will be concerned saying, okay, so we were third and we played all the best teams. I expected 12 from 12. Okay, you drop points against Bristol City. Now I want 3 points. If we then drop points again and then we play Millwall and we drop points, then I'm going, nah, this isn't good enough now. Because we're playing teams that I think I heard by the Square Ball, Dan Moylan said something. Average position of the teams we play in the next 6 games is 21st. 21st in the league. There or thereabouts. We now have to put these teams to the sword. We should not be losing. We should not be losing. Definitely not. Now, of course, game state can happen. We don't know. We might get a red card, an own goal. You just don't know. A melee error. So I can never... People say, oh, well, you said that before the game. Yeah, but we've got to see what happens in the game. But if Leeds dominate and we don't win, then, you know, you've got to... It's not good enough at this point. It's not good enough. But I expect us to win. It's Damar. That's not true, and you know it. Yes, of course, Michael. 100% agreed. But what I will say to you is, Burnley created nada. Burnley very rarely create anything. Burnley are not good. They're not. Under Farker, they're not good. Under Parker, they're not good. They're not a good side. They don't create chances. Look at the Burnley name. Yeah, they're not a great side. They win 1-0. Blah, 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 blah. We're Leeds United. We play decent football. We create loads of chances. I expect us to win and win well. But you are right, you know, games happen. Look, we drew with Portsmouth, etc. But yeah, I don't look at Burnley as a barometer. I don't look at them as a barometer. I don't think they're great. I don't. So yeah, they've showed some resilience. But look, if you've got 1 point in 5 games away from home, then you need to be getting beat at Elland Road. You're bottom of the league for away form. You need to be getting beat. He was asked about Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney's going to get some stick at Elland Road, I tell you that much. He says he was a world-class player. There'll always be a lot of attention on him. He's still a young manager, but he has a lot of experience, especially as a player. He's used to being in the spotlight and handling expectations. That's what you have to do as a manager. His teams never just park the bus, which they don't. They'll come and play it. This is what they've been doing away from home, hence why they've been getting beat. Sometimes you need to maybe put the handbrake on. Maybe he'll surprise us and do that at Elland Road, but I don't think he will. He says they'll try to play football, and I really like that. Of course you do, Daniel. You're licking your lips. You're going to score goals. It's like City when they go, they play anti-football. Yeah, but they beat you, didn't you? You know? Anyway, he says they go for the games, especially at home. They have a good offensive players, especially Whittaker. They have some threats up front, so it's important we don't allow them to play their game with confidence. We need to make them defend. We want to dominate the game as much as possible. They have shown they can hurt teams. I'm expecting domination. You know, I say front and centre game week 1, front and centre minute 1, up to 90. Beat Plymouth and beat them well. He was then asked about them playing an underdog. you know, about supporters. You know, do we have to quell their expectations, or do you have to quell the players' expectations, etc.? He says, our supporters are experienced. They want us to win every home game. You have to handle this. The best way is to go and lead and make sure everyone is excited. But you have to make sure a young side doesn't underestimate an opponent. But this will never happen to us. We know how tough and tight each game is. You have to be on it from every moment. I think we learned that last season as well. We know how tough and tight each game is. You have to be on it every moment. If you give 2% less, you're in trouble. Sometimes out of good intention, we're not overdoing things. Sometimes you have to be patient. That's the shackles off thing that, you know, some fans criticise when we don't win games, which I hear and I understand. He says, Elland Road is a fantastic place. It's full of emotion and intensity. It can be tricky if you go into the trap and try to force passes too much. You have to speak about it, train what you want to do, and bring it onto the pitch. Speak about how to manage your nerves, but I don't want to put shackles on our feet. I want to use our intensity. Yeah, that's what he said. Stephen Grayson, who are you chatting with? Sorry, we will never see if I can repeat that. Who are you talking to? Don't leave you. What are you on about? Scoring is just you have to play in the league you're playing. Leeds sign him. They have something in. You don't have to. What are you going on about? Are you arguing with someone in the chat? Not me. I don't know what you're on about. He's talking to himself. Yeah, knows. Oh, he's talking to you. Oh, you're over there, right? Okay, I didn't realize. I was thinking, what is he going on about? Yeah, that was it for your presser, by the way. I'm surprised we managed to get 22 minutes out of it. Truth be told, but it was fun. It was fun. I think we go Byram, and I think we go Solomon left wing, Nonto right wing, because hamstring. It depends when he picked it up as well, doesn't it? But look. And you can, what's the word? You can keep my word on this. Leeds United win and win well, and have to win and win well, and move on and beat Millwall. You know, I want 9 points now. I want 9 points. 9 points. The thing is, I said if we'd have won the 4 games, we'd have been top. Now Sunderland have a 5-point gap. So we might win these next 3 and still not be top, which is frustrating. I'm just having a look at Sunderland. Sunderland have got to go to QPR. Sunderland, I mean, great away from home and home. I think Sunderland are here for the course, by the way. I think they're here for the course. Yeah, Stephen, only messing, bro. So, yeah, I don't want to shoot out for second. Do you know what I mean? Ugh. No, Jeff. There's no conversation to be had. No. Why? Who are you getting to replace him? Why would you want to replace him? You've seen him for 5 games, a total of 200 minutes. If he didn't have all that outside influence, no one would be saying this. It's agendas. I'm sorry it is. It's agendas. People are likening it also to the Spence situation. It's nothing like the Spence situation. Spence was a dick behind the scenes. Facts. So, also on the striker shout, go back to what was working. Start with Joseph Pirro off the bench. That's for me. Yeah. Anyway, please smash me a like on this video. Subscribe to the channel. Get your comments in. Hit the notification bell. There's no White Rose Rivals at 6. It's not George because he's overweight and lazy. No, it's not. That's how he's always looked. You think he's overweight. He's not overweight. And I don't think he's lazy by any stretch of the imagination because he gets back and defends. Go watch the last game. That's a narrative. That's something that's just factually incorrect. Jeff says he's done nothing, Joe. Never done anything on the pitch. Incorrect. He has the same amount of assists as Largi Ramazani. So that's not true. Again, and he's not overweight. He's just a big dude. You know, some footballers are full set. It's pure agendas. Let your agendas drop, folks, and you'll see. You will have to fall on your sword. True that. And he gives us more than what fucking Jadon Anthony does. I tell you that much. Has he not already got better numbers than Jadon? Probably. But anyway, I will dunk when it is time to dunk. It's not now. Yeah. Have your time. Say he's overweight. Say he's rubbish. Say you're going to send him back. That's not true, Jeff. I'd imagine I've also watched every game. It's not true. It's not true, bro. It's definitely not true. Because in the last game, Firpo weren't even playing, bro. So, I don't know. Anyway, let his agendas drop. You're only saying that because you backed him and he got injured. No, of course I get him. Of course I've backed him. But you, Sean, you know when I've backed a player, if I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong. I don't blindly just keep on a narrative hoping that one day I'll eventually be right, like some people do, a la you on Farker. So, if I'm wrong, I will say wrong. But he's just back from injury. Now, of course, if the injuries continue, then it has been a poor signing. 100%. But people are questioning the quality. I think it's wrong. But hey-ho, it is what it is. We'll see, won't we? We'll see. We'll see. I'll be on the right side of history again. Anyway, smash me a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you all. I'll probably do pre-record a preview for tomorrow, and then obviously it's game day Saturday. So thanks as always for watching, and I'll see you in a bit. Peace out. Leeds, Leeds, Leeds.